We've got some great price action going on right now, and I wanted to highlight this on the currency strength indicator and also the currency array, and also to show you how that is reflected on the charts themselves. What I've got set up on the left hand side, I've got the currency strength indicator over here from Quantum on the 5-minute time horizon. Alongside that, I've got the currency array with all the 28 pairs ranked accordingly. And then over on the right hand side, I've just pulled up a couple of examples of the charts themselves. No indicators on here, it's just a bare chart with the price action. We've got cable here on 1 minute, and below we've got the euro yen, again on a 1 minute time frame. We start over on the left hand side with the currency strength indicator. What we see here is really we are spoilt for choice, because we're seeing strong divergence in the pairs across the matrix, and we've got very strong buying here in the pound, the yellow line, the British pound, rising very strongly, has been doing for a little while. And in addition to that, we've also got the euro rising very strongly, but as you can see, literally as I'm talking, it's just starting to roll over now, getting up into the overbought area of the chart. And likewise, the pound also is very strongly overbought on this particular time horizon. Down at the other end of the spectrum, we've got, as I say, really spoiled for choice, because we've got very strong selling pretty much universally across the commodity currencies in terms of New Zealand yen. We've got the Aussie dollar here, and we've got the Canadian dollar here also. And in particular, the red line, which is the US dollar as well. So in terms of pairs and what is going on in terms of buying and selling and the opportunities available, very much spoilt for choice over this period, where we saw very strong buying in the pound, very strong buying in the euro, and equally strong selling in the counter currency. Now, moving to the currency array, this is where we see all 28 pairs ranked. And one of the things we're obviously keen to see is whether the pair we're considering either buying or selling, whether the flow for that particular currency and currency pair is reflected across the complex for the currency. So if we just isolate out the pound, for example, for a moment, what do we see? Well, absolutely perfect. We see buying of the pound across all these pairs where the pound is the primary currency, and of course equally very strong buying against the euro where it's the counter currency. So you've basically got a perfect arrangement of the pairs across the pound complex. If we toggle that back on, let's go to the euro. Let's see what's happening in the euro. Have we got the same picture? The answer is no, it's not so clear cut. Clearly we can see at the bottom here, we've still got the euro pound. That is largely being driven but predominantly by the pound buying. But as you can see up the ranking ladder here, in terms of a euro pair to be trading right now, if we were trading in that particular direction, you can see that the ranking here is not so clear cut. If we wanted to see euro buying across the complex, then clearly what we'd want to see is all these other euro pairs ranked right up at the top, and they're not. So what this tells us quite clearly is that as far as the pound is concerned, certainly across the pound complex, it's an absolutely 100% universal sentiment right now towards the British pound. But in terms of the euro, it's a little bit more mixed. So when you're choosing your pair to trade, whether you're trading in the spot markets or whether you're trading in currency futures makes no difference, because the indicators work in exactly the same way. Here we're on the NinjaTrader platform, but we could be on the MT4, MT5 platform. Then whatever pair you are trading, it's important to understand whether the sentiment is universal for that particular currency and so reflected in the pair itself. And as you can see quite clearly here, for the euro, it's not quite so clear-cut as it is towards the pound. And of course, the other way of looking at it is to look at the counter currency. For example, if we're trading on the pound dollar, for example, we might want to see what the sentiment is towards the dollar. We can see over here on the currency strength indicator that it's been pretty heavy selling, fairly bearish there on the 5-minute time frame. Let's just toggle that out there. If we were going to be trading the majors right now, then clearly the ones to be looking at, certainly cable, which we've got over there. But the others, it's a little bit more mixed. So really what this is telling us is we've got the dollar CAD and the dollar Swiss down at the bottom here, but the others are sort of mid-table, flopping around. So again, it's a question of choosing your currency pair with care and selecting that particular pair where sentiment is universal across the complex, because in general that will reflect a lower risk opportunity. And there's nothing wrong with choosing a pair where perhaps the sentiment isn't universal, but the key point is that you must be aware of it at all times. And of course, once we get to these points, once we get to these extremes where we've got an extreme on the pound, with the euro we've already seen starting to kick over. What we're also seeing down the bottom here, we're starting to see the New Zealand dollar rise a little bit, the Aussie dollar rise a little bit. Nothing at the moment for the US dollar, but once we start to get to these regions, then clearly if you're a reversal trader, then you might be looking to take this on as a reversal opportunity, trading in the opposite direction. Let's just pop those back on again. There we go. Hope you've enjoyed this particular video. Lots more to come as always. Thanks for watching. See you again soon, and bye for now.